Hello, you've caught me studying a map of northern England. We've got the Lake District there, and we've got the Yorkshire Dales over there. And it often amuses me that when the landscape photographer goes off to take some new pictures, where do we go? Yes, the Lake District, the Yorkshire Dales and Scottish Highlands and Snowdonia. Nothing against the Lake District, for example, or the Yorkshire Dales. But there are places within that area and elsewhere that escape the photographic eye. I was very pleased with the reception I got with my recent programme, Secret England. Now, I mentioned a number of places in that programme which I think were discoveries for many of you. So I thought I would do a version 2. Places in the Lake District and the Yorkshire Dales, as I say, may have escaped your attention. Very satisfying, however, that the first programme, Secret England, found its audience, and I hope number 2 does as well. And I'm going to start in the Cloud. Now, that has nothing to do with computing. It's a landmark in Cheshire. So let's go and have a look, shall we?
The Cloud is a prominent hill that rises to the east of Congleton on the Cheshire-Staffordshire border. At just over 1,100 feet above sea level, the county boundary runs across the top. It is approached from Timbersbrook, where a tree-covered path provides convenient access. I had just arrived by train and was exceedingly lucky regarding weather. It was amazingly clear, and it was easy to pick out other landmarks in the area. A more atmospheric vista could be imagined, just a question of arriving at the right time, and that skill has nothing to do with photography if you want reality and don't wish to fool or belittle your audience. The Wirral, a heavily populated peninsula between the rivers Dee and Mersey, may not be regarded as first choice for photography, except the locals who know better. Given stormy seas, the lighthouse off New Brighton is a favourite location for those who have the knowledge. I didn't have that knowledge and wasn't so lucky, but the day would be perfect for a sunset over the Dee estuary, so I was taken to Hoylake and Red Rocks, currently living up to its name. To avoid flare, I chose a photo technique perceived to be incorrect. I stopped down to f16 or 22, risking diffraction. I could use a larger aperture, but the penalty would be unsightly flare. You might get away with a prime lens at f8 or 11, an optic simpler in its construction than a zoom. The English coast, and in particular our beaches, can be the home of some amazing pictures. One of the most astonishing is East Quantock's Head, not far from the Quantock Hills in Somerset. Approached from its village, the first glimpse is unbelievable when the tide is out. It borders the Bristol Channel, and there are steps down to the beach. The shapes and viewpoints from the rocks are never-ending, especially into the light, so make sure you have enough space on your card. Boulders of a different kind are found in the Yorkshire Dales National Park, a site well away from the honeypots of the area, except when your visit coincides with a geology school trip. Maybe winter, as shown, is the best time photographically too. They are known as the Norber Boulders or Norba erratics, because these boulders were transported by the ice ages and deposited on softer limestone, which has worn away, leaving them on unbelievably looking pedestals. Eventually they will topple over. The nearest village is Ostwick, followed by a long walk over rough ground, a test for the strength and suppleness of your ankles. Most people visit Ravenglass from the Ravenglass and Eskdale Steam Railway, but I doubt many stay any longer than it takes to turn the train around for the return journey back to boot. For the photographer, there is much to see and enjoy, especially if you stay overnight. It also has a station on the National Rail Network, or indeed come by car and explore the estuaries of 3 rivers and amazing vistas just around the corner. Within the Lake District National Park, it is a widely recognised location for bird watchers. From one secluded area of this very popular national park, I travel east to the other side, not far from Haweswater, now a reservoir for Manchester. Near this remote landscape are the ruins of Shap Abbey. Its outlines amazing subjects for patterns and shapes. It is perhaps a natural step from a ruined abbey to a magnificent cathedral in Nottinghamshire, a church that avoided the Reformation. Now the mother church for the county, it is not located in the city of Nottingham, but several miles to the east at Southwell, or Southwell as I am told it is pronounced. It is one of the least visited cathedrals in England, yet it displays magnificent Norman architecture in the nave and west front. Enter, and you will find many treasures worthy of your camera, and a chapter house rejoicing in amazing leaf sculptures at its entrance. I love discovering architectural gems that escape the attention of most photographers. Lincolnshire has many churches regarded as architectural treasures, but at Heckington your attention is quickly focused on its windmill just down the road. It is near Sleaford, and Heckington Windmill is unusual and unique in having 8 sails instead of the usual 4. The River Ribble finds its birth in the Yorkshire Dales, but it is very much a Lancashire river, heading westward towards the city of Preston, where it soon enters the Irish Sea. Once out of the national park, we lose interest, yet Clitheroe in the Ribble Valley is a town of note. Not far away on a tributary of the Ribble is Lower Old Hodder Bridge, a graceful, slender structure which has not been made over-safe, its raw beauty preserved. I would certainly be nervous in crossing the bridge today on foot, and it is hard to imagine how, in former times, larger loads, perhaps on wheels, managed to cross safely to the other bank. Creating an environment in a town where the highlight is safely reached on well-made-up paths has its reasons and benefits. Next time you travel back in time on the Midlands Heritage Railway from Holton, pause a while at Oxford and explore its town, continuing the magic before taking a later train back. Follow the main street gently downhill and branch off on the left on Ladywell Lane, which soon becomes a path. It can get a little wet as we are now close to the river, because it is this setting that is so important for the vista of Fulling Mill, a remarkably preserved thatched cottage of importance in a previous industry, now in private ownership, that straddles the river. It can be safely viewed from the public footpath.
Well, I hope I've shown you some places in England outside national parks, though I have included a couple off the beaten track, of course. Regarding architecture, well, I've ticked off Canterbury Cathedral and also York Minster. But what about Southwell Minster, as I have shown? A beautiful Norman building, particularly the nave and the west front. And then, of course, there is Sheffield and Leicester. They have cathedrals which perhaps you've never thought about. You're probably knowledgeable in your own area, and if I've included it, far more than me. But have you thought of going, say, 100 miles from your home, not to a national park, and having a look there? Because that is what I'm trying to show, that there are many places off the beaten track. When I gave a lecture once, somebody once interrupted and said, "Derek, aren't you going to run out of places to photograph in England?" Well, at 80, I am still looking, going along the road, and as yet I have not come across the sign saying "the end." But insofar as this programme is concerned, I'm afraid it is the end, and maybe later I'll do Secret England #3. So please stay tuned, won't you?